Have you ever wondered if ancient philosophies, like Stoicism, are truly relevant in the lives of modern women? Can a philosophy often seen as masculine also hold the key to a life of resilience, purpose, and inner peace for women? Today, we're diving deep into how Stoicism, with its timeless insights, is not just for men, but an empowering guide for women in our world today. Each principle of Stoicism reveals practical wisdom uniquely fitting for the complex challenges women face daily, from societal expectations to balancing emotional responsibilities. Together, we'll explore these 7 powerful reasons why Stoicism is not only relevant, but also transformative for women. And as we progress through each, consider this. How might these ideas change the way you view your role, your emotions, and your path forward? What could happen if you embraced these Stoic principles fully? The final reason, a profound Stoic approach that ties together all these lessons, is one you won't want to miss. It's the ultimate Stoic insight that can bring both men and women a grounded sense of purpose and peace. Let's begin this journey. 1. Embracing Amor Fati in adversity, loving one's fate as a path to inner strength. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is Amor Fati, or the love of fate. But what does it mean to love one's fate, especially when faced with life's challenges? Amor Fati asks us to embrace not only the moments of joy, but also the trials and hardships as essential parts of our journey. In a world where women often encounter unique social and personal challenges, how transformative could it be to look at these struggles not as burdens, but as tools for growth? Imagine looking at every setback or adversity as a part of your story, something that shapes and strengthens you rather than weakens you. For a woman navigating expectations in society, Amor Fati offers a radical shift in perspective. Instead of feeling weighed down by societal judgments or personal obstacles, she begins to see them as necessary experiences, even essential ones for her development. Have you faced moments where life seemed unfair, where you questioned why you were dealt such a difficult hand? Stoicism teaches that each of these moments is a test, an opportunity to practice resilience, to turn inward and reflect on the strength you're building. For example, when faced with a professional setback or personal rejection, Stoicism invites us not to react with frustration, but with acceptance. Could it be that this particular obstacle, this unexpected turn, is leading you to a place of greater understanding and inner power? Women, especially, can find in Amor Fati a new way to approach these challenges. Instead of seeing setbacks as barriers to happiness, they become stepping stones toward a deeper sense of self and purpose. When we see everything as necessary and even welcome every experience, we stop wasting energy resisting reality. Instead, we focus our energy on adapting, on growing, on becoming more resilient. In this way, Stoicism allows us to face life's ups and downs with a steady heart, a quiet confidence that we are equipped to handle whatever comes. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." What if every challenge you encountered became fuel for your inner fire, for your growth? By accepting every experience, including the difficult ones, with grace, we draw strength from them rather than letting them diminish us. This principle of Stoicism, when fully embraced, becomes a tool for powerful transformation. Loving one's fate doesn't mean giving up or passively accepting all that life hands you. It's about finding meaning and purpose in each moment. For women facing pressures that demand resilience and adaptability, Amor Fati becomes a powerful mantra, a reminder that every experience has value, that every part of life contributes to our growth. How might this principle change the way you approach your daily challenges? Imagine no longer seeing hardships as disruptions, but as the very fabric of a life lived fully. This is Amor Fati, a mindset that empowers us to face life's challenges with an open heart, prepared for whatever comes. In our next reason, we'll delve into another Stoic practice essential for modern life, the art of Stoic reflection and self-awareness. How can taking time for introspection help us find greater clarity and purpose in our unique journeys? 2. Practicing Stoic reflection and self-awareness. The power of looking within for clarity and purpose. In our fast-paced world, where roles and expectations pull us in countless directions, how often do we pause to ask ourselves, what truly matters to me? What aligns with my values and brings me fulfillment? The Stoic practice of reflection and self-awareness offers us a chance to reconnect with our core selves, a profound tool that women, navigating various roles and expectations, can use to find purpose and inner clarity. At the heart of Stoicism lies the discipline of reflection, an ongoing practice of examining our thoughts, actions, and motivations. By regularly looking within, we start to identify what is true for us, rather than what society, family, or even our own insecurities might impose. This isn't a passive act. It requires courage and honesty. Have you ever wondered what might happen if you removed all distractions, all external opinions, and focused solely on what resonates deeply within you? Stoicism teaches that through self-awareness, we begin to discover a version of ourselves that is undisturbed by societal pressures, grounded in a firm sense of personal values and authenticity. For many women, balancing multiple roles, whether as professionals, family members, or caretakers, can blur the lines between genuine aspirations and imposed expectations. Reflective introspection, a staple of Stoic philosophy, helps us separate what is ours from what we've inherited or absorbed unconsciously. Marcus Aurelius often practiced this, examining his day each evening, asking himself if he acted in accordance with his values, if he responded to others with patience and wisdom. Through this daily examination, he cultivated a clarity of purpose, a resilience that came from within rather than from external validation. What might you discover about yourself through such a practice? In Stoicism, this reflection isn't meant to judge or criticize, but to understand. The more we reflect, the clearer our path becomes, and the less we are swayed by transient desires or the opinions of others. For women who often face both internal and external pressures to meet various expectations, this Stoic self-awareness becomes an anchor, a way to stay true to oneself amidst a sea of changing circumstances. One Stoic exercise that can deepen this practice is the reserve clause, a humble yet powerful way of setting intentions without becoming attached to outcomes. When we set goals with a reserve clause, we commit to pursuing our aims wholeheartedly, while acknowledging that the results may differ from our expectations. This approach is especially liberating, as it allows women to strive toward their goals, be it in career, family, or personal growth, without being crushed by setbacks or disappointments. Could it be that adopting this mindset would allow us to pursue our dreams with both fervor and flexibility? In a world that often emphasizes achievement and visible success, Stoic reflection turns our focus inward, helping us cultivate a strong sense of self-worth based on our internal compass. We realize that contentment comes not from external accolades, but from living in harmony with our values. This self-awareness is not about isolation. It's about aligning with what truly fulfills us. For a woman striving to live authentically, Stoic reflection reveals a steady, quiet power, a clear path toward a life led with intention and inner peace. As we move to our next reason, consider the role of emotional labor. How often do we find ourselves absorbing and managing others' emotions, leaving little room for our own? Up next, we'll explore balancing emotional labor and how Stoicism helps us handle these demands with wisdom and poise. 3. Balancing emotional labor. finding balance in managing emotional responsibilities. In today's world, emotional labor often falls disproportionately on women, both at work and in personal life. But what is emotional labor, and how can Stoicism guide us to handle it more sustainably? Emotional labor includes everything from providing emotional support to family, managing complex interpersonal dynamics, to creating harmony in the workplace. This often invisible labor is crucial, yet it can become draining if not managed thoughtfully. Stoicism, with its emphasis on understanding and directing our emotions, provides a path to navigate emotional labor with balance and intention. One of the foundational principles of Stoicism is the idea that while we cannot control others or external situations, we can control our reactions to them. Have you ever found yourself overwhelmed, giving too much of your emotional energy without realizing it until you're drained? Stoicism teaches us to pause, reflect, and intentionally choose where to invest our emotions, conserving our energy for what truly matters. Consider the wisdom of Seneca, who said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." This Stoic principle of waiting before responding allows us to examine the situation calmly, considering if a reaction is warranted or if restraint might be the wiser choice. Imagine a tense situation with a family member or colleague. Instead of immediately diving into an emotional response, Stoicism suggests a moment of pause. This delay is not about detachment, but about purpose, about choosing where to direct our emotional energy wisely. Wouldn't it be empowering to know that you have the choice in every situation to decide how much of yourself you give? In practice, this can mean discerning between the moments that genuinely require our empathy and those where it's wiser to step back. This isn't about becoming emotionally cold, but about creating boundaries that protect our well-being. For many women, who often feel the need to maintain a sense of peace or offer support at every turn, Stoicism teaches a form of emotional economy. By valuing our own emotional reserves, we learn to give with intention and balance, preventing the burnout that comes from constant emotional involvement. Stoicism also emphasizes self-care, a concept essential for anyone balancing high levels of emotional labor. Taking time to recharge isn't an indulgence, it's a necessity. By setting aside moments for personal reflection, hobbies, or simply solitude, we honor our own needs. This time for ourselves restores the energy required to engage meaningfully in our relationships and responsibilities. How often do we neglect this simple act of self-care, giving endlessly to others without filling our own cup? Stoic principles remind us that we are most effective and resilient when we care for our emotional health. In professional settings, Stoicism encourages calm and measured reactions to workplace stress, helping us avoid impulsive reactions that drain emotional energy. Instead of feeling frustrated by a challenging colleague or situation, Stoicism guides us to respond with patience and clarity. This practice not only conserves our energy, but also creates a more harmonious atmosphere, reinforcing our sense of control in environments that may otherwise feel demanding. Through Stoicism, emotional labor transforms from a draining obligation into a choice. By being selective with our emotional engagement, we can approach relationships with a more sustainable, fulfilling mindset. We find balance, giving of ourselves when it matters most, and retreating to nurture ourselves when needed. Stoicism teaches that true strength lies not in endless giving, but in wise, intentional care for both others and ourselves. As we continue, we'll explore how Stoicism empowers women to overcome gender bias with grace and resilience, transforming barriers into opportunities for inner growth and self-assurance. 4. Overcoming gender bias. Transforming biases into opportunities for inner growth. In professional and personal spheres alike, gender bias remains a persistent challenge. How often do we encounter moments where our abilities are subtly, or even overtly, questioned simply because of our gender? Stoicism offers a powerful toolkit to navigate such challenges, focusing on building inner resilience and self-reliance rather than seeking validation from others. Instead of allowing gender biases to diminish our self-worth, Stoicism teaches us to find strength within, anchoring ourselves in personal virtues that cannot be shaken by external judgment. Imagine a woman in a leadership position who regularly encounters skepticism or resistance purely because of her gender. These encounters could easily lead to frustration or self-doubt, but Stoicism invites us to view these experiences differently. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Could it be that the key to overcoming bias lies not in changing others' minds, but in strengthening our own sense of worth? For women, this shift in perspective can be transformative. By focusing on what lies within our control, our reactions, our choices, and our commitment to personal values, Stoicism enables us to rise above others' judgments. The goal is not to fight every slight or confrontation. Rather, it is to cultivate a quiet self-assuredness that does not waver based on external validation. When we understand that our confidence stems from our own beliefs and competencies, we build a foundation that cannot be easily shaken by prejudice. How does this look in practice? Picture yourself in a situation where your contributions are overlooked or questioned. Instead of feeling disheartened, Stoicism encourages you to ground yourself in your achievements and values. This means finding confidence in your abilities without needing constant external recognition. When we detach our self-worth from the opinions of others, we gain a profound sense of freedom. Stoicism teaches that the only validation we truly need is our own, rooted in our dedication to our values and our efforts to excel. But Stoicism also goes beyond self-assurance. It encourages us to approach bias with rationality and objectivity. When we encounter gender-based assumptions or judgments, Stoicism suggests looking at them calmly, seeking to understand the source rather than reacting with anger. By approaching these situations with a clear, balanced mind, we can dissect and even address the underlying causes of these biases. This does not mean accepting them, but rather refusing to let them disturb our peace of mind. Could this calm approach not only protect our own mental well-being, but also set an example for others to follow? Moreover, Stoicism offers women the perspective to view bias as an opportunity for growth. Instead of seeing gender bias as an immovable barrier, Stoicism frames it as a test of virtues like resilience, courage, and integrity. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to strengthen these qualities. By reframing these obstacles, we can see them not as injustices to be endured, but as occasions to demonstrate our strength and conviction. Imagine approaching each biased interaction as a chance to reinforce your commitment to your values. Would this not make each experience a step toward greater inner strength? The Stoic approach to overcoming gender bias doesn't require confrontation or resentment. Instead, it calls for a focused, inward path toward self-assurance. When we live by our values, act with integrity, and remain committed to our goals, we naturally challenge stereotypes and prejudices through the quiet strength of our actions. Stoicism thus becomes not only a philosophy of personal empowerment, but also a subtle force for societal change, fostering environments where actions speak louder than assumptions. With this mindset, gender bias becomes a fleeting obstacle, a mere distraction on the path toward self-mastery. In the face of these challenges, Stoicism teaches us to stay true to our purpose, setting a standard of excellence that speaks for itself. As we navigate these biases, we come to realize that true empowerment lies within us, untouched by others' perceptions. In our next reason, we explore how Stoicism empowers women to lead authentically, cultivating leadership styles that are rooted in integrity and empathy. Up next, embracing authentic leadership. 5. Embracing authentic leadership. Leading from a place of integrity and self-awareness. For many women, embracing leadership often involves navigating stereotypes and expectations. The Stoic approach to leadership, however, offers an alternative path, one that encourages leading from a place of authenticity and inner strength. Stoicism emphasizes virtues such as integrity, empathy, and self-awareness, qualities that align naturally with a leadership style focused on collaboration and genuine connection. In Stoicism, true leadership isn't about dominance or authority. It's about embodying one's values consistently. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This advice is particularly empowering for women who may feel pressured to conform to traditional leadership molds. Rather than adopting an aggressive or domineering approach, Stoicism invites leaders to reflect on their strengths and lead in alignment with their unique qualities. Imagine a woman in a managerial role who feels the need to assert herself in a way that doesn't resonate with her values. Through Stoic principles, she might come to realize that effective leadership doesn't mean adopting someone else's style, but rather embracing her own. By valuing qualities like empathy and collaboration, she fosters a team environment built on respect and shared purpose. Wouldn't this approach, true to her character, inspire others more effectively than a forced imitation of authority? Stoicism also teaches us to face challenges and criticism with a balanced mind, neither reacting impulsively nor accepting feedback blindly. In leadership, this Stoic trait becomes invaluable. Constructive criticism offers insight, while baseless negativity can be calmly disregarded. When leaders approach feedback with rationality, they model resilience and self-assuredness for their teams, showing that strength lies in stability and openness rather than defensiveness. The Stoic leader also views leadership as an opportunity to serve. This sense of responsibility transforms leadership into an act of stewardship rather than a pursuit of power. By approaching their role as one of guidance and support, women leaders can foster a culture of collaboration and mutual respect, encouraging their teams to grow and excel. Could there be a greater form of leadership than one that elevates others, guiding them to reach their own potential? Through Stoicism, authentic leadership becomes more than a position. It's an expression of one's deepest values. For women, this means leading not by conforming to expectations, but by setting a powerful example through integrity and empathy. When we embody these values, we demonstrate that true influence is earned through respect and self-assuredness. In our next reason, we will explore the importance of setting personal boundaries, a skill that allows women to manage their energy and commitments without compromising their well-being. Up next, asserting personal boundaries. 6. Asserting personal boundaries. Creating space for self-respect and well-being. Personal boundaries are essential for a balanced life, yet setting them can be particularly challenging for women who often juggle various roles and responsibilities. Stoicism offers valuable insights here, teaching that while we cannot control the actions or expectations of others, we have complete authority over our responses. This principle is key in establishing and upholding boundaries that protect our well-being. In Stoicism, there is a profound understanding that our internal peace is ours to safeguard. Epictetus reminds us, we are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens. When we internalize this, we see that boundaries are not merely about saying no to others, they're about saying yes to ourselves and to our priorities. How often do we sacrifice our own needs, feeling obligated to fulfill others' expectations? Stoicism empowers us to redefine these interactions, prioritizing our well-being and aligning our actions with our values. Consider a professional setting where a woman's boundaries are often tested through excessive workloads or unrealistic deadlines. By applying Stoic principles, she can assert her limits clearly and respectfully, focusing on her capabilities and well-being rather than succumbing to pressure. This doesn't imply defiance, but reflects a commitment to quality and sustainability in her work. Could it be that by setting these boundaries, she is not only protecting her health, but also creating a standard that enhances the quality of her contributions? Setting boundaries also involves shifting from a mindset of external validation to self-trust. Women are often socialized to prioritize others' needs over their own, but Stoicism reminds us that we have a duty to care for ourselves as well. This self-respect isn't selfish. It's essential for maintaining a life in harmony with one's values. When we respect our boundaries, we preserve our energy and focus, enabling us to give more meaningfully in the areas that truly matter. Stoicism also emphasizes self-awareness, a crucial element for effective boundary setting. By understanding our own limits and priorities, we can communicate them more clearly, fostering respect in our relationships. This introspection allows us to know not only where our boundaries lie, but also why they are essential. How often do we take the time to truly understand what we need to thrive? In embracing Stoicism, personal boundaries become a source of strength and self-respect. They allow us to engage fully in life without losing ourselves in the process. Stoicism teaches that by honoring these limits, we create space for our growth and well-being, ensuring that we live in alignment with our values. 7. Practicing Stoic reflection and self-awareness. The journey of inner discovery and fulfillment. Self-reflection and awareness form the backbone of Stoicism, offering a way to examine our actions, motivations, and goals in alignment with our core values. In a world filled with external pressures, this Stoic practice of introspection becomes a sanctuary, a place where women can reconnect with themselves and understand what truly fulfills them. Reflecting on life's events and our responses to them is a powerful practice. It involves asking questions such as, what do I genuinely value? How do my actions align with those values? Through such reflection, Stoicism helps women move beyond society's expectations, understanding their true desires and strengths. This awareness allows us to set a direction in life based on our authentic selves rather than the roles others expect us to fill. For example, Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's foremost thinkers, practiced daily reflection, examining his actions and intentions each evening. By consistently evaluating his behavior, he gained clarity and purpose in his role. What if, like Marcus, we too made reflection a habit, taking time each day to reconnect with our values? Could this bring us closer to a life that feels truly meaningful and grounded? Stoic reflection also brings clarity in decision-making, allowing us to pursue goals with purpose and resilience. By understanding ourselves deeply, we gain insight into our unique strengths and limitations, guiding us to make choices that align with our true nature. When we set intentions rooted in self-awareness, we create a path forward that is both purposeful and adaptable. We learn to accept outcomes with grace, knowing that our worth lies not in achieving certain results, but in staying true to our values. Another key practice in Stoic reflection is focusing on the present. Stoicism teaches that fulfillment is not found in past regrets or future anxieties, but in the present moment. By cultivating this awareness, we learn to find contentment in the here and now, appreciating each experience fully. For women seeking to live authentically, this present-focused mindset becomes a source of peace, enabling us to move forward with clarity and purpose. Through Stoic reflection and self-awareness, women can forge a path uniquely their own, rooted in personal values and aspirations. This journey isn't about achieving external success, but about aligning with one's true self, creating a life of authenticity and fulfillment. In exploring these 7 reasons, we've seen how Stoicism provides a powerful foundation for women, helping them navigate life with resilience, purpose, and inner peace. Each principle, from Amor Fati to setting personal boundaries, offers tools for self-empowerment and clarity, revealing that Stoicism is indeed a philosophy for all. As we conclude, I invite you to reflect on which lesson resonated most with you. Perhaps there's a moment in your life where Stoic wisdom could provide insight or comfort. Share your thoughts in the comments. Your reflections are part of the tapestry of our shared Stoic journey. If you found this exploration valuable, consider liking this video, subscribing to stay connected, and sharing it with others who might benefit. Thank you for being here, for engaging thoughtfully, and remember, stay strong, stay Stoic.